couple of things. One is it's an evolving process. Vivek, the moment we try to kind of define the ceiling, we try to kind of hold ourselves into it, right? So for me, I think mindsets, skill sets is something which basically is I have seen in the last few years, in fact, couple of years, only evolving based on how the system is evolving. See, understand we are a product of the macro and system around us. We cannot, in our own way, define this is how it is. System is changing. We need to change with the system. So I think number one for us is to track how is the system and the macro dynamics are changing. That's number one, right? Number two is when it comes to responding to it internally, how can we stay on top of it? So, a lot of things that we look into it is all our internal discussions, again, coming back to the process of whatever, what Rashna said, whether it's a blueprint or it's a review process or it's a discussion process, has to be kind of aligned to our initial principles of account management. I cannot say account and then discuss only, number today, right? So it has to be holistically discussed whenever internally we are discussing about accounts, right? That's number two. Number three is on upping our skill sets of the whole team or ourselves. I think it's very important that, some of these soft skills continues to be reinforced. And I'm seeing that, as it was also alluded by other panelists, the complexity in terms of accounts are only increasing. Number of stakeholders are increasing. Objectives of each stakeholder is increasing. And as kind of highlighted, the matrix within an account is also increasing, right? So how do you actually navigate through this matrix and complexity in terms of your soft skill of whether it's stakeholder management or negotiation skills or actually asking open-ended questions, right? As a person, I think these are some of the soft skills which is really important that all of us and the entire team continues to keep brushing upon, because these skills are very tough to get in the market, and also it's something that kind of experience brings in a lot, right? And last but not the least, I think it's also very important that we define key account management. I think that's probably, again, one thing which is the crux of all, because otherwise every time we talk key account management, people simplify it to sales, right? And I think that's one thing, that's the holy grail. If you define it in a very simple way, it can mean different things to different organizations based on maturity and the objectives. Then at least you have something to clarify or look upon that, what, I think we've achieved a bit of key account management on an ongoing basis. So I think these are some of the four, I can think of 4 key things that we can do on an ongoing basis to actually see how we can implement it and on an ongoing basis keep evolving it.
I think Pushkar said it all, and I think he's covered it very beautifully. And also you, Vivek, that you're looking at talking to CXOs and CFOs, and talking to those founders, as I told you, right? So those skills are extremely important. You don't want to be perceived as not to demean anything, but not perceived as somebody who's come just to sell something, right? Yeah. You don't want to be perceived that way. You're talking about a different level of partnership altogether. So the way you talk, what you talk, the content, the data with which you talk, right? And when you talk his or her own language, is extremely critical. Another bit is I'm a very strong believer of your 70-30-10, right? Which means your 70% of what you learn and capabilities are on the field or on the job. You're talking to stakeholders, mapping them, getting insights, all of that. 30% is through your coaching and through how you're being developed through that mechanism. And it's the 10% that, of course, you need the tools, the mechanisms, the outline. There has to be a system, a process, and it only gives a more structure to your thoughts and gets you to, you're not all over the place and stuff. But your 70-30-10 is extremely important in addition to your stakeholder